Rock-a-bye baby on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall, and down will come baby, cradle and all.
I think that children at the age when they're hearing nursery rhymes or they're engaging in the exchange of nursery rhymes or other oral traditions, that it's purely innocent.
He's a year old. He's not going to understand a baby falling out of the crib.
When you analyze the nursery rhyme beyond functionality, what does it mean?
It's an interesting lullaby because if you think about it, the child is placed in the top of a tree in its cradle, left to its own devices. The wind rocks it to sleep, not a mother or a father or anyone else. The wind blows too hard, the tree breaks, and the baby falls, and as the rhyme says, down will come baby, cradle and all, implying that the cradle falls on the baby and the baby dies.
A group of people have decided that this stuff is important enough to pass along. And so it perpetuates itself generation to generation because it has some kind of significant meaning or functionality.
We all learn when we're growing up, and we hear other people singing them to their kids or whatever when they're upset, and so it's automatic. You just do it. You don't even really think about it.
And when you ask someone to think about the content of these nursery rhymes, typically you see a light go on over their heads and they realize,
you know what, maybe I should not have sung a song about a baby falling. They tend to have some type of violence in them somewhere. A baby falling out of a tree, a mother spanking their children all soundly, sending them to bed, etc.
We typically read these nursery rhymes or sing them to very young children. Their level of understanding is quite limited. I suspect that the children themselves are not adversely affected.
The baby holds on to the cradle on the side. The cradle protects the baby. The cradle rocks the baby to sleep, but it's about to fall.
You know, I guess we don't know what happens to the baby or the cradle. We can only surmise that there's something awful that happens. And yet this is a nursery rhyme that's used to sing people to sleep, including me when I was a child.
If, in fact, the creator of the nursery rhyme did so to begin teaching children at a young age important lessons of life, good things could not be so good, be careful where you go and what you do, you raise an interesting question. Does it have that impact? And I would, on first blush, suggest it does not, because most people, again, are surprised when you ask them to carefully consider the content of these nursery rhymes.
Nursery rhymes, I think, are very interesting historically because they were used by the serfs and by the peasants to be able to say things about the royalty without getting their heads cut off.
I think it was the author's attempt at humor. Let me write this lullaby in which a child is placed in a dangerous situation and likely dies because of it, and then put a pleasant melody to it and have parents sing it to all of their children.
Rock-a-bye baby on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock.
When I have sung it to Harold, all I'm thinking about is whether or not I can get him to stop crying.
And down will come baby.
I don't really overanalyze it.
Mm-hmm.